Hey, what's up, coaches? Dave Bishop here for RTDB. Want to talk to you today real quick, making sure that everybody understands that run the damn ball is not anti-pass, okay? Before we get that, what we're all about is making sure that you understand that there are some programs in this country, and there are a lot of them, that will benefit from being a run first, run heavy offense that gives their kids the best opportunity to win. So, with that being said, today we want to hit up our midline concept. I want to spend some time talking to you today about running our midline from a traditional set as well as some spread sets to give you some ideas on how to run the midline and run it well. We'll go through blocking and some different philosophies. So just hang in there and let's look at the midline. Okay, as we look at the midline here, this is a strong set, and this is a basic wing T set. We call this rip wing. So we got a tight end wing over here. While it's not on here, we've got our X split out to the left. Okay, and what we want to be able to do is talk a little bit about this. I've got up here the word trap answers, and so one of the questions I get asked quite often is, what if you've got a three technique you can't block? Because every time that your guard goes down to get to the backside linebacker, he squeezes and he's blowing the trap up. To me, this is one of the answers that you have is the midline. And while it's a different play, that three technique right here, what is he doing? He's reading the release of the guard. So that guard releases down or in, okay? And so he's going to squeeze it. He squeezes it. He's going to see that ball. He's going to tackle it. And what happens is if you run midline enough against some good teams, that three technique gets leery because as the quarterback reads that three technique, he's blowing up that fullback and ends up with a football never being in his hands. So again, let's just talk real quickly about the strong side um, midline. Okay. Talk about the strong side midline right here. Let's look at blocking schemes. First of all, play side. So from the center, we're going to look at the play side over here, and then we're going to work backside from the center back. So when we're talking play side, our play side guard, his rules are simple. We're going to tell him to go in and up on the play side linebacker. Okay. Our play side tackle, his rule is out. Our play side tight end, his rule is out. Now, what we want to look at is that these two are responsible for these two. So, for instance, if you got a 4-3 look and this guy's in a 9 technique, okay, what we would do is utilize a me you call. So the tight end is saying, hey, I'm blocking the guy on me. You get the other guy. So in this case, he would say you. He's turning out on the outside linebacker. He's turning out at the end. If he's in a 9 technique, he's going to say me. So he's turning out on the 9, and that tackle is going to get that outside linebacker. So that's the way we're handling that there. The other piece that we want to look at is if I've got a wing, we're going to get him to insert and fold inside and blow up the play side linebacker. So really what we have is two guys on the play side linebacker. Okay. If this guy disappears, we tell him to go ahead. You get inside, you go. If your man disappears, so let's say he comes up and blows us up, then you go ahead and climb to level 3. All right, from the center back. In this case, we're looking at a 2-eye or an inside shade on the guard. What we like to do is what we call a switch call. So the center blocks back on the 2-eye, the guard wraps around the center's tail, and he gets the backside linebacker. If this guy's in a 3 technique, the guard will block out, and the center will take the backside linebacker. So again, these two are responsible for these two. All right. We're going to take our backside tackle and we're going to step and hinge and high wall that guy up the field. We do not want him coming down the line of scrimmage. He'll blow that up. Quarterback steps are pretty simple. We're going to tell him to do what we call a punt step. So if we're going to the right, he's going to punt step sideways with his left foot and then pivot back, lined up, okay, on that midline. Now, when we do our drills, we love our quarterbacks on the sideline. So he does all the drills facing the sideline. And what you'll see is it allows you to get his footwork right. So that way that ball is sitting over top the midline. Your fullback, he's straight stepping and he is going square up the center's booty or up his crack. Okay, he's going straight. And these two guys will have drills where they will work over here again on the sideline, and they work that mesh. They work that opportunity for those guys to feel what it's like getting that ball seated in his belly. Okay, seated in his belly, riding him, and then we'll add a three technique so the quarterback reads. Now, quarterback read. What is he going to be doing? He's reading this three technique, and we tell him if his shoulders are turned and he's coming and squeezing this guy, you're going to ride this guy as deep as you can, pull, and you're going to attack the B gap. Okay, pull and attack the B gap. The other caveat is, as I tell my quarterbacks this, it's a when in doubt, you need to hand the ball off to the fullback, because even if this guy's shoulders are slightly turned and this guy's a hoss, he's going to go ahead and he's going to pick up 2 to 3 yards just by running the ball properly. It's rare that that three technique will blow up the fullback and for no gain at all. Now, if this guy's a hoss, and we've seen him, we faced Cedar Grove state champ a few years ago, and he blew it up pretty well. As a matter of fact, he took the mesh between the quarterback and fullback and blew up both of those, and didn't look too good for us on that play. But again, learning how to ride and read quickly is critical. So, caveat: when in doubt, hand the ball off. Okay. Now, why the midline? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One, we talked about trap answers. Okay, we talked about trap answers. The other reason, if you've got a quarterback who's a runner, who that's one of his talents, this is just another way to go ahead and get the ball in his hands. And last year, the two best people we had on offense were these two guys right here. Okay, these halfbacks were young. We had a lot of injuries. So while one of these guys was older, he wasn't in but a couple games during the whole season. But for the most part, my halfbacks were really young sophomores, very inexperienced. But these two, they carried a load. I believe two of them rushed for over 2,200 yards combined. So again, trap or not trap, but midline strong. Midline strong. Okay. Now, the other thing that we like to do that's a little different is we like to go ahead and bring in our spread sets. Okay. So we like to bring in our spread sets. And what happens in our spread sets is this: is we want to remove this outside linebacker from the equation. So as you can see right here, we've got a tight end trips. We got tight end trips out here. We got the split back to the side over here. Now, because we don't have an extra back in the backfield to go ahead and fold on that linebacker, what we do is tag it. So we're going to call it midline Y fold. Midline Y fold. All right. Blocking scheme is all the same. The difference is that these two don't have to really be responsible for these two because this guy's removed. So you're going to get your, again, play side guard in and up on play side linebacker, play side tackle out. Okay. Your tight end now on Y fold is he's going to drop step and he's going to go ahead and work towards that play side linebacker. Again, no different than if he were the running back. If this guy disappears down inside, we ask him to climb to level 3. So he would work here and then work himself up to the free safety, whoever's there in that situation. Center, again, we're getting a switch call between these two, okay, because these two are responsible for these two. So we're going to block back on the 2-eye. We're going to wrap up inside on the backside linebacker. We're going to high wall this backside tackle and make sure that defensive end, we're going to run him upfield. Quarterback, his reads don't change. Fullback, he doesn't change. So we're reading that 3 technique right there. So let's go ahead and kind of take a look at some of the things that we have online. First off, guys, what a great resource is our website. As you guys, if you're on here, you know what we're talking about because you have seen the website Run the Damn Ball by eCoach N. And so what I'd like you to do this week is I want you to go to our video section and then scroll through. If you'll go ahead and scroll down, what you should see is our midline cut-ups. Okay, you should see our midline cut-ups. And if you look here, they're just called Midline Concepts. And we've got our midline concepts broken down into multiple pieces. So as that thing is supposed to load, um, they're broken down in multiple pieces. We start with the Y fold, and then we'll have weak side. And next week, what I want to do is I want to spend some time talking to you about the weak side midline. Okay, talk to you about the weak side midline. And then I also want to talk to you about running the midline versus a 50 front. And I'm going to tell you, the weak side midline as well as the 50 front have been probably the two best ways for us to run it in the last few years. So if you guys will check the cutouts up, send me any questions and emails that you may have at coachbishop@coachboard.com. Again, coachbishop@coachboard.com. Send me comments, send me questions, and if you've got a special way that you block it, we'll start next week's segment talking about the questions that are out there. We'll also talk about different ways that maybe you block it. Okay, so hey, again, guys, appreciate your time tonight. I'm going to break it down slow and RTDB.